I'm now really close to being done with this electronically. There's a little bit of putter you might hear at times. That's because my Wi-Fi router, if I put my hand on the chassis, so I'm making a shield and I put it over the preamp stuff, that goes away. So that's not something of concern. There is no space to put a tube holder screwed to the chassis in here, not unless I run AC over to here, and I want to keep that away from the preamp stuff. So I've ordered an inline fuse holder, which will just kind of float around this area. That'd be better than no fuse holder. It's not my preference, but it'll be absolutely fine, and that'll be here tomorrow. Other than that, you can see that I redid the input jacks so that they ground out when nothing's plugged in, and there's a high gain and a lower gain, and moved the 1 meg to ground before the 2 grid stoppers, so there's no longer that voltage divider there. This 5 watt 120 ohm for the output cathode is overkill as far as the wattage goes, but that was the one I had. A 2 watt would have been what I would have chosen, but I did not have a 2 watt 120 ohm handy, and I didn't feel like ordering a single resistor with a shipping charge just to finish the amp. So overkill it is, and got that cap there. I'm not on the set of the little blue Vichy that was Tim. We've got the Sprague. I don't have this Sprague in parallel with this the way the original was, because that would have put this too close to the heat from this if it gets warm. There's too much voltage in there for me to stick my finger in there to see if it is getting warm, and I don't have a thermal imaging camera. So other than that, as you can see, almost all the resistors had to be changed. They were all drifted crazily high, just way crazy high. That's why the tremolo depth especially was just low over the top. I'm going to back the recording level of this mic down a little bit and let you hear this, not mic'd up with 57, just across the room, both through my shop cab, which is the WGS ET65 and Veteran 30, which is an 8 ohm cab, and then the stock little 8-inch Alnico, which is 16 ohms. So it'll be a slight mismatch, but it'll be fine. The Alnico sounds great, except that it's trying to die, and I'll let you hear both. Not sure how much that'll come across from 6 feet away, as opposed to having 57 on there. But then I'll show you the Alnico. We're going to remove it and see if it might just be like a loose dust cap or something simple. If not, I will take it to my buddy to see if it's worth reconing. If it does not meet the bar for reconing for various reasons, I think the Alnico Blue Pup 8-inch from Weber would be a good choice for this amp. So let me let you hear my shop cab and then the stock speaker. think that's good for now. Let me show you what the speaker is looking like and why we need to change it out. All right, so the paint's flaking off, huge quantities of dust, nasty things down there. What are those? Are those bits of things that used to be speaker, or just things gathering over the years? Can't quite tell. It looks like foil. Little bits of aluminum foil flapping around in the speaker will not make things sound good. I can't quite tell. It's very fragile. Oh, I know what it is. It's the silver paint from the other side of the frame flaking off in big chunks and rattling around the speaker. That's what that is. And the cone's got some deformations you can see from this side. I've not looked at the dust cap or the other side of the cone yet. Let's see if we can take a look at the spider. Hard to see at this angle. The spider looks, yeah, it's slightly this way. It's just slightly, it's, what's the best way to put this? Imagine that the center of the actual diaphragm that you're moving within the magnet is supposed to rest right here in the middle. Some speakers go too far forward. Some speakers go too far back. This one is just slightly too far back. It's not at its center point, which means that it cannot do a full excursion for positive and negative waveforms. It's going to have a physical issue. It's probably got a bad voice coil. Looking at the speaker itself, there's that deformation, a lot of dust. The dust cap is not separate. A lot of resistance to it moving. I don't hear the crunchy sound of a totally screwed up voice coil, but it doesn't feel right, doesn't look right, doesn't sound right. Anyway, I'm gonna take this to my buddy Dave Halford at Halford Loudspeakers, and he can tell me whether whether the parts are still available to recone this and whether he thinks it'd be worthwhile reconing this. If not, I think the Weber Blue Pup Alnico 8 would probably be the closest thing on the market to this old little crappy gem. Don't take that as scorn. I love crappy gems. The trouble is when you have things that are not gems that are just crappy, like the Supro yesterday. But this amp will be a wonderful thing, whether this speaker comes back to life or a suitable replacement goes in. That's a new one on me. I've never seen the paint flake off in the side of a frame before like that. But then again, I don't do a lot of speaker repairs. So, but tasty.